Welcome to the Mountie Football Radio Network on Spreaker.com's own national sports. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Chris Sylvester alongside Brian Tabajay on the call for you tonight right here on Spreaker.com. It's the Mounties and the Citrus Owls here at Hilmer Lodge Stadium in Walnut, California, on the campus of Mount San Antonio College. It is a National Central Conference game. Citrus coming in this one 3-3 overall, but Brian, they're undefeated in conference play. The Mounties 5-1 overall, 2-1 in conference play. The lone loss, the 3-point heartbreaker at Long Beach a couple of weeks ago.
No matter what their records are right now, both teams are looking for a big win, whether it's the Citrus Owls, the visiting Citrus Owls, or your Mount San Antonio College Mounties, as the Mounties coming off, Chris, a big win last week against Grossmont, 52-7. Let's see if they can ride that momentum into this matchup against the Owls, who are desperately looking for a win. Although it was not a non-conference loss, a conference loss last week at home against Bakersfield, they're looking for a win, no doubt about it.
And this game certainly won with playoff implications on the line. The Mounties, they feel like they got to win out to find their way into the postseason picture. If Citrus wins this one, they stay right with Long Beach, and that sets up a pivotal matchup at the end of the season when the Vikings and Owls potentially meet up to decide a playoff spot. But it's all about what's going on down on the field right here, right now. The Mounties won the toss and elected to receive. It'll be Solomon and Ryan Simpson back deep to receive for the Mounties. As we're just about set to get it underway, Tristan Gonzalez will boot it off, and it's a short kick. Simpson from his own 17 gets across the 25, tries to make a cut to the outside, breaking a couple of tackles, and he's still on his feet past the 30-yard line, and down to the 34 he goes, and some decent field position here for Justin Allo and the Mountie offense to start.
Yeah, they had a tough time right there. Kyle Spears, the fullback, also playing some special teams for the Owls, 5'7", 215. He's a first-year player out of Northview High School, as he tangled up Ryan Simpson on that tackle. Luckily, he really literally just pulled his jersey out of his pants to bring him down.
That was the only way the Owls were going to bring down Ryan Simpson on that return. The Mountie offense, they put up 52 points last week, a season high against Grossmont, looking to build off of that this week against a pretty good Citrus College defense. They rank 21st in the state, and Allo will keep here on first down. And Allo, a pretty good gain to the near side of the field. That's about an 8-yard pickup on first down, and quite a way for the Mounties to start off offensively.
Paul Manus, the DB, 5'10", 190 out of Claremont and Claremont High School, met up with Allo right before the first down marker. Nice tackle, even better run by Allo. It was a nice design keeper there by Justin Allo.
The officials will give the Mounties a pretty favorable ball spot. It's a 2nd and 1. Handoff. This is Omaris Tolbert. Ran for 200-plus yards against Grossmont last week, and there he goes into Citrus territory, and he's finally dragged down at the Owls 40. The Owls said the ball came loose.
Well,
they felt that the ball came loose, but it was after Tolbert's knee hit the ground. It's not a fumble. Yeah. Instead, it's a 1st and 10 for the Mounties at the Citrus 40.
Sorry, Chris.
It's all good.
Tolbert did lose that ball, but fortunately for them, the Mounties did recover.
Omaris Tolbert, 219 rushing yards last week against the Grossmont Griffins. Empty backfield here for Justin Allo. The snap is back. He'll look to throw. Pressured. He'll throw. Fired deep. It's tipped. And in and out of the hands of Ryan Simpson, who would have had a Mountie touchdown. Incomplete.
That was a close call for Justin Allo and the Mounties, as Paul Manus, again, active in that defensive play for the Owls, getting his hands up right as it was about to hit Ryan Simpson's hands. He tipped it just in time to make it an incomplete pass.
Paul Manus, the DB there out of Claremont High School, he's just a freshman. Ryan Simpson so effective in that slot for Mount Sac all year. Handoff Tolbert. He has another Mountie first down, makes a cut, and tripped up inside the 25 at the 24. Moved the chains once again for the Mounties, and Omaris Tolbert picking up from right where he left off last week in his 200-plus yard performance against the Grossmont Griffins.
Well, the Citrus Owls playing man coverage there, so every defender was on a Mountie, and that opened up a nice lane at the same time for Tolbert on a big carry and a first down.
Citrus coming off of a 17-14 loss at home against Bakersfield last week. Play action here. Allo will get to the far side of the field, and he scampers out of bounds at around the 18-yard line, but there is a flag down in the area of holding, and this one could very well be coming back.
He'll look like one of the offensive linemen there for the Mounties that got caught in a hold in the first penalty of the game. Belongs to the Mounties. The head ref in tonight is Bob Yoakum and his crew. That was on Jericho Dio, the tight end for the Mounties. 6'2", 250, second-year player out of Chino.
So the penalties, which really hurt the Mounties last week, had north of 15. They get their first called against them with 13:27 left to go in the opening quarter. In this one, no score. It'll back the ball up to the Mountie 34-yard line. So that's penalty number 1. We'll keep a tally on you. We'll keep a tally for you, rather, tonight here on the Mountie Football Radio Network. Chris Sylvester alongside Brian Tabajay for the call. Mounties moving right to left on the broadcast, and it's a delayed handoff. Tolbert trying to find some room up the middle, but he's unable to. He gets back to the original line of scrimmage. No gain there. Citrus finally able to stop him on his third carry of the evening.
Yeah, Tolbert really trying to establish his running game here early on in the contest. Very nice to see that he has an active role in this offense, game in and game out. Tolbert's such a beast to handle for opposing defenses as he continues his running game here early on in the game, Chris.
Tolbert, the sophomore, a breakout game like we've mentioned a couple of times last week against Grossmont. Transfer from Orange Coast College. This is his first season with the Mounties on a 2nd and 20. Allo will drop back to pass. Had a man open, but unable to bring it in was Christopher Gilchrist. Looks like his cleat got caught in the turf that time.
It was either that or a stop-and-go route for Gilchrist. Either way, it's an incomplete pass. Unfortunately, because Citrus was in a zone coverage there, that would have been a nice pickup for the Mounties. Unfortunately, it fell to the ground there.
3rd and 20. Ball still on the Citrus 34. It would be a big-time stop for the Owls, and you could take the holding penalty if the Mounties can't convert here. 4 wide set, 3 aligned to the near side of the field. The lone receiver to the far side of the field is Christopher Gilchrist, the former FAU Owl. Allo gets the snap. He'll drop back to pass. He's going to take a shot for Gilchrist in the end zone, but the pass is too long, and it'll hop on out of bounds through the back of the end zone, incomplete.
So the holding penalty proves to stay strong here for the Owls as the Mounties are forced to get rid of this ball now, as they're pretty much in no man's land right now, Chris, but
they're going to punt it away. Christian Fulham will trot on onto the field, and Citrus's defense, they hold.
The important thing is for the Mounties is, you got to clean those up. Last week they did a better job as far as not committing so many penalties in the first half, but they did.
Well, how about that? Fulham's punt will hop on out of bounds right at the 1-yard line. He's been great at pinning the ball inside the 20 all year long, and there he goes again, Christian Fulham, with a perfect punt out of bounds that time. And Larry Cutbirth and this Citrus offense, they'll set up shop at their own 1, and now it's time for the Mounties defense to give their offense some good field position with the stop.
Yeah, the big rushers for the Owls this year, DJ Gordon's leading the way with 64 carries, 158 yards, and 2 touchdowns. He also has 8 receptions for 43 yards. So to get out of dangerous territory here, they probably look to Gordon on this play.
Gordon did not play last week against Bakersfield, and he is not on the field here. The lone back is Robert Gonzalez. Mounties nearly jumped off sides, and I believe they did. Larry Cutbirth, with the sophomore quarterback for Citrus, might have got him with the hard count. We'll wait for the call from our officiating crew, and it is an offsides penalty against the Mounties, number 2 on the night for Mount SAC.
That's unfortunate for the Mounties. They don't want to pile these up very quickly here. Although they're a very stingy defense, they can be a little too overzealous, and that proved to be so as they went offsides on pretty much the inch line for the Owls.
Cutbirth, 63% completion rate so far this year, 1,293 yards, 12 touchdowns to 6 picks. He's also ran for 4 touchdowns, 55 rushing attempts for 79 yards. Handoff will go to Gonzalez, and Gonzalez is met up in the backfield, a loss of 1. The Mounties all over that one. It'll bring up a 2nd and 6.
Well, in that coverage, you are assuming that they're going to do a run play, whether it's a draw or a counter. But on that one, it was just a straight handoff, and the Mounties defense was ready for it, led by Fa'alua.
And it's good to see C.D. Tama Avena in there after suffering an injury late in the game last week against the Grossmont Griffins. 2nd and 6 here. Citrus has it at their own 5. 11 and a half minutes left to go. Opening quarter, no score. 2 wide set for Citrus. Cutbirth will drop back to pass. It's a screen pass out of the backfield and being tackled right at the 1-yard line. That's Justin Martin, the leading receiver on this team with 32 receptions, and he's taken down in the backfield for a loss of 4. The screen pass does not work out for the Owls.
That was big. Chris Waldenberger, the 6'3", 205 linebacker for the Mounties, does such a great job getting to the flat right there and really wrapping up that Citrus Owl and taking him down right before he got into the goal or the end zone.
Right there, Citrus. They're lucky that there's such thing as forward progress, or else that would have been a safety for the Mounties. Ball's at about the 1.5-yard line of Citrus. The Owls with a 4-receiver set, the lone back Gonzalez. Cutbirth will drop back to pass. He's pressured. He throws to the near side of the field and unable to hang on to the football was Eral Romney, incomplete, and now the Owls will be punting from their own end zone.
That was Aaron Simpson, the 5'9", 165 sophomore out of Pasadena, who does such a great job covering opposing wideouts, and on that pass by Cutbirth, he made sure that it was incomplete because that would have been a first down.
So Larry Cutbirth and the Owl offense, they go 3 and out on their first possession. Despite the offsides penalty the Mounties gave them to start it off. Mounties are going to look to block this one here. The punter is Dylan Barnes. The snap is back. Mounties will bring the pressure, and they can't block it. It's Aaron Vaughns who will let it hop out of bounds, and it's not a good punt at all. The Mounties are going to get it here at the Citrus College 35-yard line to start. And you can thank Christian Fulham, the Mountie punter, for pinning the Owls so deep in their own territory. Now, like I said, it leads to a fantastic opportunity for the Mountie offense deep in Citrus territory.
Absolutely, Chris. The Mounties offense is something really that has been clicking on all cylinders all season long so far. And in this game, they've established some sort of a running game. Vaughns is in on this possession right here, but nonetheless, great field possession to start this second drive for the Mounties.
Well, many people feel the Mounties perhaps the most talented team despite the loss against Long Beach in Southern California this year. Aaron Vaughns will get the handoff here for the Mounties. He gets inside the 35, and he's pushed back at the 33 after a pickup of 2. Many people feel the Mounties, the only way they're going to lose is if they beat themselves. You saw it in the Long Beach game, up by 12 with 7 minutes left to go. They were unable to hold on to that lead. Coach Jabs called it inexcusable, and I completely agree with him.
Well, yeah, it's sometimes they think too much on what comes with just their natural ability. So much talent on this squad that sometimes they really just think about it too much. And unfortunately for them, they came on the short end against Long Beach.
2nd and 8.5 for the Mounties at the Citrus College 34. Allo will drop back to pass. Now he's pressured, flushed out to his right. He's now just going to take off and run and gets inside the 30-yard line before scampering on out of bounds right around the 27-yard line. It'll force the Mounties on a 3rd and about 4 here from the Citrus 28.
That was Benjamin Kane who kept Allen somewhat in check as far as keeping the ball and tucking and running. The big 6'4", 240 sophomore out of Covina in South Hills High School did a nice job making sure Allo didn't release that ball.
So Citrus looking for another stop. They're looking for a 3 and out themselves on the Mountie offense. The lone back is Omaris Tolbert. 2 receivers set, both aligned to the near side of the field. The snap is back. Allo looks to throw, fires a screen pass, and this one is caught. Getting down inside the 20-yard line is number 35. That's Moses Manu, the tight end. Seeing some rare action for the Mounties, and he gets himself into the red zone down to the 18-yard line. Move the chains for Mount Sac.
Big target for Allo, though. 6'4" frame, the tight end out of West Bountiful, Utah.
The Mounties don't use a tight end all that much, but they used it there on a 3rd and short, and they were able to convert. Steven Short is the other tight end for the Mounties. He hasn't caught a pass in a couple of weeks. 2 receiver set once again. The lone back, Tolbert, and he gets the carry here and gets inside the 15-yard line down to the 13 for a solid pickup of 5 on first down.
Tolbert does his job, obviously, when he gets a nice running lane to really shoot the gap, but no credit really goes far enough to these wide receivers and tight ends along with their linemen that go up and get the blocks for these running backs to create those lanes. So So nice play by the offensive line and the receivers and tight end.